What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and we are taking a look today at the Winnipeg Jets, as we have been hearing some rumors potentially about some guys heading out of the peg. Mark Scheifele's name has been thrown out there, and most recently, Connor Hellebuyck. Could he be on his way out of Winnipeg? We're going to go over that. So the first report is from Darren Drager. The Winnipeg Jets are willing to consider trading Mark Scheifele this offseason. For the most part, we've heard this rumor for the last little while now. It started when he was linked earlier this season, toward the end of the regular season. I made a video about Mark Scheifele to the New York Rangers being a perfect fit, depending on what happens with guys like Ryan Strome and Andrew Kopp. Mark Scheifele could be a really nice addition into that Rangers top six center group. So Scheifele, his name was thrown out there, and ever since then we've heard some rumors that he could be tied to different places other than New York. Then we heard a kind of a follow-up and in terms of what Mark Scheifele thinks of all of this, because he's been asked about it. And Elliotte Friedman said Mark Scheifele didn't ask for a trade, but it's still something to keep an eye on. Again, I think the direction of the Jets is going to change here. You consider where Scheifele's at. He's making a little over $6 million till the summer of 2024, and he's probably going to be 32 years old at the end of this deal. So if the Jets want to get value for him, the time would be now. Because if they were to trade him this offseason, the team that would be acquiring him wouldn't necessarily get him on a pending UFA deal. They are going to pay a premium. There would be 2 full years left of Mark Scheifele's contract at $6 million. And for what he provides on the ice, I would say $6 million is pretty good. The only problem with Scheifele is there has been some attitude situations and people talking about maybe a little bit of off-ice, I don't know the best word for this. I guess you could say shenanigans. I mean, that's the best word I could come up with. We've been hearing some stuff with Scheifele. Again, I only take it so far. I only take it for what it is. So take with it what you will. But this has been a theme going back to even in the days when Patrik Laine was in Winnipeg that, again, this is all just speculation, but there was some talk that maybe Wheeler and Scheifele and some other players on the Jets were kind of running the asylum there in Winnipeg while Paul Maurice was there, and Laine kind of got pushed out. So again, this is all speculation, and I wonder, because normally you would say, well, why would they trade Scheifele, right? What's the incentive there? They got rid of Paul Maurice earlier this year. I know they struggled, but it was very quick to let him go, and he kind of dropped it himself. I wonder if just all of this stuff is starting to kind of come up through the ground, and we're starting to see the end results of what has been going on in Winnipeg the past couple of seasons. This is also from Elliotte Friedman. Connor Hellebuyck wants to stay with the Jets as long as they aren't rebuilding. Now, what kind of message does that send when you trade Mark Scheifele? That's the problem here, because if Hellebuyck, again, Hellebuyck reminds me a lot of right now in Anaheim, John Gibson. I don't want them to trade John Gibson. He's my favorite player on the Anaheim Ducks. But you look at where he's at, and Hellebuyck in particular, because this is a Jets video. He's 29 years old. His contract ends when he's 32. Are the Jets going to be good in the next 2 seasons, right? Legitimately. And if you're trading Scheifele, there is some speculation about, well, what happens with Hellebuyck? Because does he make sense? He's on a pretty good contract. I mean, all things considered, $6 million. That's not terrible. There's plenty of teams that around the league that would definitely take a guy like Hellebuyck. But again, with the cap situation, does that make sense? Again, I do see the situation where Hellebuyck does get traded. Again, not because he's a bad player and not because he has to get moved, but more the fact that if the Jets are doing a little rebuild here for the next 2 or 3 years, that's when Hellebuyck walks right into free agency, and he's going to say, I'm out of here anyway, and I've wasted the end, really my prime years in the NHL at 29 years old. So I know Jets fans aren't going to like this. I know that I'm going to get some kind of backlash for saying even the thought of trading Connor Hellebuyck. But this is something that they will definitely discuss. Whether it happens or not is up for discussion, but I am hearing it talked about, so I thought that I definitely had to mention it. With that said, in terms of non-rumors, actual news for the Winnipeg Jets, we've been hearing about Christian Vesalainen, or Christian Vesalainen, whatever you want to call him. He just signed a contract over in Europe to play in the SHL next season. Not good news for the Winnipeg Jets. Christian Vesalainen is 22 years old. He was the 24th draft pick, 24th overall back in 2017, and he's on the final year of his entry-level contract. He played in Winnipeg this past season. He played 50 games, only picked up a measly 3 points, a -3 or a -8 and 3 points. Just not good enough. He picked up 6 points in 17 games in Manitoba in the American Hockey League with the Moose. But this is a guy that has 5 points in 70 games in the NHL. So really, I hate using the word bust, but not looking good here for Vesalainen. And it looks like his NHL career at the moment, at the very least, is over. And I think that this just shows, unfortunately, Kevin Cheveldayoff just kind of missing the mark with Vesalainen. And I think the problem was he just couldn't adjust to the NHL game. And now he goes back over to the SHL. So tough news for the Winnipeg Jets there. You were hoping that he could become a top 6 NHL player. But at the very least, at this point, that will not be the case. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you again next time. Go Jets.